Also, very warm welcome from my side to the audience here. It's an honor and pleasure to be here today. And what I have brought with me is a picture. And this picture was taken exactly today, 1 year ago, in the Himalayas. This experience was one of my most transformative life experiences. And I wanted to show this to you today because every one of you in the audience, is this working actually? Yeah, it's working, okay. Every one of you in the audience might have come across some transformative experiences in the last, years, decades of your lives. So I would like you to think about one of those experiences, something that was memorable, something that really transformed you. Just take 1 second to think about that. Okay, keep that in your mind. So one memorable travel experience. This experience was on the way to Mera Peak, a 6,500 meter mountain, and it was one of the experiences that, as we said also with the speakers previously, it wasn't just about buying tourism products. It was not about buying into services. It was about human connection, human experiences on a local environment with a lot of emotions. So what I'm talking to you today about is marketing 4.0. But what I really would like to emphasize as a message is actually that it's all about human experiences. So let's dive a bit into that. We have heard a lot about digital transformation, digital experiences. What is it? Why do we need to focus on digital technology? And also, what kind of tools do we need? A lot of times I get asked the questions, Barbara, we have this destination. What kind of technology comes next? What technology should we be investing to? I'm always giving the answer, it depends. It really depends based on what kind of experience you would like to have. What will the future hold for us? Well, there's a lot of different technologies that we see in the very future by 2025, whether we're talking about people being connected to not just devices that they're carrying around mobilely, but also we're looking more into wearable devices, devices that even go onto our bodies and into our bodies, where we speak about contact lenses and so forth. We look into the Internet of Things, 3D printing and so forth. So there's a lot of different technologies coming in the future. What we can see a lot in the destination marketing and management context is actually technologies that really change the way we operate destination, change the way we offer experiences and we co-create experiences. So that is anything from city guides, smart transport, smart tourism solutions, solutions for parking, solutions for getting tickets online. The solutions are endless. The real question is, what kind of experiences would you like to facilitate? And when we talk about marketing, and we can also take a look at marketing 3.0 and marketing 4.0, what has changed? What progression have we seen? And it was all from value focus in marketing 3.0. So how can we co-create value towards how can we even put more focus on collaboration? How can we not just create emotions and emotional engagement, but how can we create actually social value? How can we create not just experiences through single technological solutions, mobile devices, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, but how can we actually create a whole ecosystem where all the different technologies that we have available come together in an integrated manner? And how can we move from one-to-one marketing, where now our customer is our focus, to actually more integrated, holistic marketing that really looks into the hybrid ways in which we now address, and not just address, but engage consumers? And also, how can we not just be found, but how can we really make a difference with consumers? When we look into this notion of co-creation that we've also heard about today, it's all about looking into what we call the ecosystem. So the smart co-creation and tourism system, where we have the companies, where we have the consumers. But really, it is about the B2C market, C2C, and A to A. And A2A means actors with actors. So we are also changing the terminology from business to customer or customer to business to actually speaking about actors to actors. Everyone is an actor. Everyone has a different involvement. It's just about humans, people meeting in different capacities, in different ways that they are working or involved in the tourism experience creation. And what we can see nowadays, what glues all of that together is digital technology. So that's really our core, where we have channels where we can communicate and where we can also create experiences. But what is happening through digital technology? We managed already to discuss the idea that it's about the digital but also the physical environment. It's a combination of both spaces. We always need both. So we also need to concentrate on the analog, on the collaboration and co-creation that is happening in person. So what we can see nowadays in co-creation and experience economy is that we are not just creating experiences for consumers, but we're looking much more now to create experiences and value with consumers, really involve them at every step of the way and try to create experiences with them. So it's about this, seeing consumers as those empowered collaborators of ourselves. Try to think, can we create ideas with them? Can we create experiences with them? Where can we actually make them involved? If they feel involved, they want to participate. And I would like to show you a couple of examples. So there is a lot of great practice industry examples out there. One I would always like to mention is Marriott. They are doing fantastic campaigns and initiatives also called Travel Brilliantly, where they invite people to co-create hotel rooms, where they develop new kind of concepts. So it's about getting consumers on board early on and create something special. Or Accor Hotels with their idea of Joe and Joey, it's all about creating community. That a hotel is not longer just a place to stay for the tourists, for what we heard earlier, the others, but it's a place where people come together. It doesn't matter where you are, what they call a townster or a tripster. So a person from the town or a person visiting the town. It's about creating and co-creating local and especially authentic experiences in a place together. And this also means that traditional spaces that were just for tourists, just for locals, are merging. We see this desire for tourists to be much more authentic, to be much more in the realms of where the locals were before, and that was exclusive to them. So it's about community building. It is also about co-creating moments and stories. As I said before, co-creation is about involving everyone. That means that stories are no longer just created by companies and through their pictures and marketing efforts, but it's about the stories that we tell together, the stories that we create together, the stories that you share. I asked you about your travel experiences before. You share those stories. You tell them via word of mouth, but also in online spaces. So it's about creating those moments and then making sure that we deliver them through the online channels. And Great Britain, for example, does so through the OMGB campaign, Home of Amazing Moments, where it's about giving the customers the power to really share what makes Great Britain and what makes their story special to them. There is, however, also let's say, a bit of criticism to co-creation, and not criticism, but kind of an awareness. Co-creation is an open process. Co-creation is about also open innovation. It's about a process where you also need to give away some control. It can be messy. And I always like to take this picture of Yayoi Kusama, which was once in the Tate Modern, where everyone gets a sticker in an empty white room. And you're just co-creating, and you don't know what the outcome will be. It will be completely unknown. But once you invite people to be part of that, something great can actually be created. So what is marketing 4.0 to me and maybe to you about? Well, it's about essentially the holistic understanding and integration of not just seeing digital devices separate from human experiences, but integrating them in one. So it's about the offline and online interactions of experiences between both customers and businesses, but most and foremost of actors and how actors come together and co-create. So what do we need to do? Well, there's the 5 A's nowadays. We moved away from the 4 P's. We moved to what we call aware, awareness, appeal, ask, act, and advocate. So the question is, how can we create meaningful experiences that make our customers go from their just knowing about us, they are being aware of us, in order to actually them becoming advocates of the experience. So experiences, we already heard before, it's all about creating not just the ordinary, but the extraordinary. For seasons, it's all about how can we actually not just create an experience in a hotel room, but in the whole environment, in the surrounding. You can see no hotel room or bed picture on here. It's all about the experiences that you have in an environment in a certain destination. Or it's about highly curated experiences. So what can you actually make sure to bring to your guests? What kind of experiences would they like to have? And it's also about bringing people life transformative experiences. It's about not just buying an experience, but how can an experience change you? How can it help you on your journey? Tomorrowland, as one of the festivals that has been previously described and widely described as life transforming. Or it's also about experiences that are hashtag YOLO moments, so you only live once. Okay, so experiences that really allow you to have those once in a lifetime kind of fantastic moments that you never forget, and you especially talk to other people about. So this is, for example, the Arctic resort Kakslautinen in Finland. What does this mean? Well, in terms of marketing and digital channels, it's still about the offline experience. And at the end of the day, it's about this quote. It's about filling your life with experiences, not things. It's about have stories to tell, not things to show. And that's one of the key messages. Know your experience, know the story that you would like people to tell, and then the rest will also follow online. How can we create those experiences? There is lots of different models out there, but one I would like to draw attention to is from positive psychology. Martin Seligman developed a model of what creates experiences, and he said every experience needs to have 5 main elements. It needs to trigger positive emotions so that you feel positive things, positive emotion towards an experience. It needs to be engaging. It needs to create a relationship with others, whether they may be other tourists, other locals, or relationship, even inward-looking, with yourself. It's about creating meaning, fulfillment, and especially a sense of accomplishment. So when I ask you to think about your experience, think, were only some of those factors present? Did you accomplish something? Did you create meaning, a personal relationship, or some form of positive emotions? So now, my question is, do you think you are an experienced designer? Who in this room would say they are an experienced designer? Yeah? Vote of confidence? Yeah, many people. I believe every one of you can be an experienced designer. Why? Because we design actually extraordinary experiences every day. Okay? If you think about birthdays, who has not designed a birthday party? Everyone probably in this room has at one point in their life facilitated a birthday party, designed for one, made one happen as a surprise, created positive emotions, engagement, and meaning for some other person. Weddings, for example. It's about extraordinary experiences that we can also have in every day. So if you can think, or if you work in a destination, if you work in a hotel, if you are responsible for anything, experiences are happening at any point. They are happening in the ordinary. You just need to have the right eyes to look at it and make an experience and turn it from an ordinary experience to an extraordinary by also looking at the PERMA model from Martin Seligman and many more. So we can actually make a difference for people. So now, I have some prop, or in that case, an item which is a tissue for you, and I would like you to now take that tissue and we do a final small activity. And I just want you to grab one of those tissues and we'll do a co-creation activity together. You can also share the tissue with people, so also use the different layers. Okay, get ready. We are not crying, so it's not for crying. It will be for something different. Okay. Has everyone got one? Okay, perfect. Then we're starting like this, and I'll demonstrate it. Wait. Okay, so we are doing the following. You grab the tissue, and you go form like a roll. So wrap it around your fingers and let's create a roll. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. Okay, great. This is why I needed the other microphone. Now, let's move on to the next part, which is essentially you grab the upper piece here. That would be great, yeah. So let's grab the upper piece here and let's just put it here so you get like a small flower on top. So just take the flower on top and you turn it around. So you fix it. So what you can already see here emerging should be similar to a little rose. Then you just continue wrapping it around to form a rose. And just go until the middle. And then what you have got left is you've got a rose here and an open part here. And now you take the open part in the bottom, and you just turn it like that once. Yeah? Everyone still with me? I can show you afterwards. And you take this one part, so it's here, and you form like a small leaf with that around it, and you continue rolling the rest. Yes, that's looking nice. Great. Lots of roses getting prepared in this room. Very nice. Help each other out, co-create, okay? So if you're not having quite this rose, help each other so everyone has got a rose, or be creative and say whatever you've got in your hands, this is a rose for you. So we socially construct the rose. Okay, so now, if everyone is ready, then I would just like to make a few concluding remarks. I think when we talk a lot about technology, technology is very important. Don't get me wrong, I spent 10 years of the last research endeavors to explore everything about technology. But I think there's one very important message. At the end of the day, it's still about human experiences. So what I would say as a critical discussion point also for today that we can develop further is that in today's world, we don't necessarily need or just need a digital strategy. What we really need is a human strategy for digital customers. And one that especially allows us for authentic and human connections, because those are the ones that stay in our memory, those are the ones that stay in our mind, and digital technology is just a means to transport it, to share it, and to create it. So with that, I want to conclude the talk, and I would like to give you actually a task now with this rose. Experience is all about co-creation. Now everyone has got a rose, and I want you to take this rose and give it now in the break, which we were all waiting for, to a person that you do not know, okay? So just hand it to somebody as a random act of kindness, use it as a sentence starter. Why? Just 1 second in the coffee break. Because I want us to remember this day 8th November 2018, as one of the days that I showed you earlier, where I will tell in a year's time, I wasn't in the Himalayas, but I was in Linz. And in Linz, we created something beautiful together, and this was the great moment that we did here, and we all made it happen together. Thank you very much.